What's up guys, my name is Zero Heroes and welcome back to more Gates of Hell, and today we are got some update development news for you, and this is 119. It's been quite a ride, I have to say. I can't believe there's been 119 updates. If you get my joke, and then if not, then whatever. Anyway, community members, we successfully worked our way through the heat wave, sweating it out while development has to continue regardless. As you have noticed by now, we have updated the game and there's more to tell and show. Here we go. So in this update, this covers some new mechanics possibly coming into game, as well as some skirmishes coming in for the new DLC, as well as the voiceovers that Gates of Hell have done, and also some development which are going to continue in the game. So if you guys do like what you see here and how I like kind of explaining stuff, then make sure you leave a like on this video, subscribing you if you're new, and without further ado, let's get straight into the action. So it says, as we do with every update, we've published a complete changelog separately. In this update, we'll just skim the surface. The highlights are, so if you want to go, guys, if you want to go see what the complete changelog is, rather than just kind of a wee bit, then make sure you go check it out. I'm not going to be covering it because I'm just going to be covering, the main updates that do come, or kind of the main kind of stuff that comes out on Steam, if you kind of get my drift. Anyway, so the highlights are that several new mechanics introduced, like AT grenade vehicle throw intercepting, or conquest not ending instantly, which allows for a lot post-battle looting to happen. So in this regard, I don't really understand what it means by AT grenade vehicle throw intercepting. By what I'm getting at, by the way, this is just what I'm thinking of and not what other people are thinking of, is that when somebody with like a soldier throws like an anti-tank grenade, then a tank will be able, or a vehicle will be able to intercept that grenade so it doesn't blow their tank up. That's what I'm getting from it, and if I'm wrong, then let me know in the comments down below. I tried to look up on Google, but it just came up with a guy in a hazmat suit and just an explosion of cars. I don't know, so if you guys know what that is, then let me know in the comments down below. And then I don't like how it says or, because why are you just saying or? Because it's saying it's one of the two. Why not you add in both? So therefore it has like a wide variety of different types of mechanics in the game. Or conquest not ending instantly, which allows for a lot of post-battle looting to happen. Now this would be amazing. So what this does, when you're in conquest mode and when you're up against the AI, you're able, and let's say you blow up an enemy tank or you decrew an enemy tank, then you're able to repair it and capture it for yourself, or if they have any AT guns, mortars, machine guns. And when the game is over, when a game was over in Conquest, it basically is, it means that like that's it, the game stops and you go back to the main menu in Conquest. But if this not ending instantly, then this will give you a chance at the end of the game to loot any enemy stuff for your advantage, and that means you can use it in the next round of the Conquest mission, or which will give you advantage defending or attacking, depends what it is. But this would be absolutely huge if they added this. This will give you such a boost to your team, to your army, to your everything. It just means that it also means that you don't have to spend as much or research as many vehicles, tanks, soldiers as you want. It won't be soldiers, but it'll be like 80 guns, tanks, mortars, whatever. So you won't have to waste those research points when going through the conquest campaign. It means that when you capture those vehicles, it means that you don't have to really research the big, the tiny little stuff that are important but are quite irrelevant, like a mortar. I mean, mortar is useful, but it's not really relevant to maybe attacking. When there is an enemy mortar in your last game that you can just capture instead of researching it. So that would be absolutely amazing if they did that, but we'll have to wait and see it. Tell me which one you'd be looking more forward to. Would it be the AT grenade vehicle throwing intercepting, or the conquest not ending instantly, which allows for a loot of post-battle looting to happen? So tell me which one you would like down below and let me know your thoughts on it. And then you've got added 4 more skirmishes to the Talvasota DLC, so that's very good. So they're adding in more skirmishes. So if you don't know what skirmishes is, when you go into Gates of Hell, and it's basically skirmish, kind of like a multiplayer, but you can also play against AI. So you can play in a PvP or a PvE, and therefore they're adding 4 more skirmishes to it, to the Talvasota DLC. So I'm guessing it is when there's 3 different game modes in the skirmishes. There's a domination one, there's the skirmish, there's the cooperation, which is, I believe, like the actual, the actual missions which you can do with your friends, and then another one. But I presume when you add 4 more skirmishes to the DLC, I presume that means the missions more missions are being added to that Talvasota DLC. If not, then let me know in the comments down below, because I'm maybe not 100% sure on that. And then you've got a lot of community feedback was processed to improve existing skirmishes and more. Of course, this is something that will continue on throughout the game for many, many years. They're going to keep improving current skirmishes that are going on in the game. Therefore, any kind of what other Call to Arms and Men of War Assault Squad do is that they just updated the game, but they kind of left old skirmishes or maps are just kind of maybe left behind, and they didn't update it. Whereas Gates of Hell are keeping or improving existing skirmishes, and they're going to make it more realistic and more exciting for everyone in the community. Therefore, it won't just be kind of always the same. So that's really good. And they've got some cool new additions to prepare for the arrival of the late war Finland. Yes, that's something that I'm very excited for, and something I will do a review on if you do want to see that. The Finnish, I did do a review on the Finnish army, but I believe that was in the early war, and this time we don't actually have we don't have the late war Finland, so I'll be doing a review for that, so stay tuned to the channel for that, and I can't wait to see what they bring to the late war Finland. And then you've got, of course, the many bugs were squashed, which I presume means that they were fixed, I think. So the bugs fixes, however, are always part of our process, regardless of what else is under development. So they're saying that, whatever other updates still do, the bugs are still relevant, they're still important, and therefore they're going to keep working at it forever, basically, through many, many different updates that they do. Okay, moving on to the next thing, which is about the voiceovers in the Finnish kind of army or in the faction. You also see what we've added more voice lines. They were also done by the native Finnish speaker, because we truly believe that's the way it ought to be done, which is very true. One of the set of soldiers voice lines was done by Christopher Weiss. Now, if you don't know who Christopher Weiss is, he was featured in a film, in a 2004 movie called Beyond the Front Line. I haven't seen it before, but I'm very tempted to watch it tonight or at some point, which I'll definitely be doing. We feel very lucky to have been able to cast him. After all, if there's one voice actor who is not only a true actor, but who is also steeped in Finnish World War II history, it's him. He starred in, of course, the 2004 movie Beyond the Front Line. If you haven't seen it, then you can just click this kind of this blue thing, which will allow you to go to the, oh, well, there you go. Okay, so this is it here. It's called I believe this is Finnish, and here it's called Framom from Stalingen. So this movie was set right in the middle of the Talvasota DLC theme. No wonder his voice lines turned out brilliantly. Have you heard him yet? So if you've played the game so far and you've played the Finnish Faction, if you've bought the DLC, then you'll be able to hear him do the voice lines for the Finnish Faction. So if you do have that, turn up your volume for your soldiers, which will be in the settings in the audio section. So make sure you turn up to give him a good listen, because I've heard him and he sounds absolutely brilliant. So props to him, and props to Gatesville for getting him. And if you don't know who Christopher Weiss is, if I'm pronouncing his name right, then you can click here to check out who he is. So this movie, Beyond the Front Line, was actually set in Talvasota, the kind of the middle of the Talvasota DLC theme. So that's what they're saying. So that is the voice lines for Gates of Hell for the Finnish action. They're adding more voice lines, so props to Christopher Christopher Weiss and Barbed Wire Studios for that. Next, we're going to be talking about the development. So we're progressing very well into the next milestones. Dozens of new 3D models and assets are already out of the pipeline, and there's a lot more to come. We're also contemplating some surprises in the future, but we can't tell you yet. For obvious reasons, we are working on more than just the next nation. Several new projects are being developed. That is very exciting to hear. So they're saying it's not just the next faction that they're bringing out. There's another project in the works that is being brought out. I actually don't know what it is. I'll probably need to do a wee bit more digging out to see, or digging in, I should say, to find out what it is. But I can't really tell what it is unless they're bringing it out. But I'm no idea. It also could be just a next faction as well as the campaign. It could be more maps. It could be another game mode itself. That's my prediction, is that the other project could be another new game mode for this, which would be absolutely amazing than just the one that we've currently got. What we can show you is some more maps we're working on, the use of which is under the discussion internally, but we'll let you know what we will use these for at some point in the future. Have a look, and remember, this is work in progress. So as you can see here, we've got some maps. I mean, I have to say a lot of the maps do look similar, because even though I understand Gatesville are trying to make, I understand that each map is actually different and unique in their own way, but when you really think about it, that the style and the environment is kind of similar, like how we've already got some winter maps with kind of a lot of kind of grassy green area, and but I understand that they're actually making it's something we've not actually really seen this before. I mean, we do have a town map, but this is some of the things that you don't really see, and these are the reason for kind of the new maps. And also we've got kind of maybe like a derailed train line here, which was probably used during the war, as you can see. So some really, maybe you could push a tank, you're probably able to use your tanks down kind of this line here, as well as your anti-tank guns. Your infantry, I would definitely put down there, as it would be suicide. Even though you do have some cover along here, it's not definitely the best. You'll probably be best kind of using kind of the what am I trying to say, the buildings and the environment around them, if that makes sense. And then, of course, you got this beautiful SU-152 looking down on its targets with 152mm boomstick. And then you've kind of got this swampy area, which will definitely affect your vehicles because they'll be a lot slower in that area. I would probably try and use maybe some scouting units to try and scout your enemy first to see how it is. And then lastly, did you know we've just published chapter 3 of our video on tutorial series? The tutorials are bundled in a separate YouTube playlist. We've come close to being banned from a Hollywood site job site because we are looking for male voice actors only for our Finnish soldiers voice lines. The London Underground is not a political movement. That's it. That's it for this short blog. See you on the battlefield. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is development update 119. What do you think of the new mechanics coming in, as well as the skirmishes, and also the new voice lines adding in, as well as the possibly a new faction and a new project coming in, as well as the maps? Let me know in the comments down below. Tell me which one is your favorite map out of all of these that I've showed you. And yeah, other than that, guys, I'd like to say thank you so much for watching, and Ostfront, and I will see you in the next video. See you later, and goodbye.